Thank you very much, Michael. And can I at the outset apologise to you for delaying you here in the hall, but I was speaking to your sponsors, without which perhaps none of us would be in this hall today. And you can't leave anybody out. I want to thank you all, Noel and all your colleagues, for providing me with the opportunity to address your first conference as Education and Training Boards Ireland. Last year, at the IVEA conference in Cavan, I spoke about the forthcoming reform of the VEC sector. Today, at this inaugural ETBI conference, I want to begin by acknowledging 83 years of innovation, flexibility and high-quality education provided by the vocational education committees throughout the length and breadth of the country. The establishment of the 16 ETBs on the 1st of July last year represents another major step in that journey, another major step. I want to tell you that I appreciate the work that was undertaken in each VEC to ensure the success of the mergers to the new ETBs, and I know that that work is still ongoing. I also know that you are currently preparing for the transfer of FOSS training centres in Dublin, Cork, Kerry to ETBs by the end of this year, and for the transfer of the remaining training centres before the end of next year. You cannot do this work alone. ETBI has a central role to play in supporting ETBs in this transformation. The Education and Training Boards Act 2013 gives statutory recognition to ETBI as the association established to collectively represent education and training boards and to promote their interests. And just on the nature of the Act itself, can I tell you that it consolidated 9 pieces of primary legislation, over 600 statutory instruments accumulated since 1930. And I want to pay a special tribute to Dalton Tatton and his team in the department for the work that they did and for your cooperation. But can I also tell you, much to the surprise of many of my cabinet colleagues, it went through both the Dáil and the Shannon without a single vote against it. I pay tribute to the opposition spokespersons from Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin for their cooperation and constructive engagement in that process. And I think I would like you to see it as an indication of the cooperative culture that I foster within the political circles in which I work, and I hope that it will be something that will resonate with yourselves as well. The Act to which I've just referred goes on to empower me as Minister to request the Education and Training Boards Ireland to carry out specific roles and functions to support ETBs. I look forward to working closely with ETBI as an enabler, supporting the 16 new education and training boards, both individually and collectively. Another important governance structure which will support this significant change agenda is the ETB Solace Programme Board, which has been established by the Department. This Programme Board is chaired by the Secretary-General, Sean Fallou, and includes members of the Department's senior management team. The Programme Board has now been expanded to include ETBI's General Secretary, Michael Moriarty, 2 ETB CEOs, Paddy Lavelle and David Leahy, and Paul O'Toole, Director General of FOSS, which will soon become Solace. This Programme Board is tasked with enabling the sector to manage the transition from VECs to ETBs and to take on the training services currently delivered through FOSS. The board is supported by a project management office which is working to assist ETBs. Helping you to put in place the necessary structures and processes to assist in delivering the reform of the sector is an important task. The Project Office has identified 5 strategic priority areas for the sector, including governance, communications, human resource matters, and is actively working to progress these. Some immediate operational issues confront ETBs, particularly in respect of their back office functions. The Project Management Office is prioritising its efforts on these matters, while also seeking to develop strategies to meet longer-term objectives. Work on key decisions around these priority areas is already underway. The intention is to establish project teams whose members will be drawn from the sector to consider and build business cases for shared solutions where this is appropriate and to manage their implementation. I understand that in these straitened times to which you referred, Noel, to ask ETBs to provide the staff who can successfully complete these projects for the overall good of the sector is very challenging. I know it is very challenging. But fellow citizens, I have no option. I have no option. To do nothing would result in even greater strains on the sector. Successful communication, I believe,